Welcome to the Welcome to the FarmHopLife Men's Forum number 4. I'm Matt Derosier of FarmHopLife, and with me I have.
I'm Dylan Schnese of Steady Presence.
Sweet, thanks for being here, Dylan.
Yeah, no problem. Always good to be here.
You're a regular. You're a regular now. So we're going to be talking about branding, sales, and marketing, something I know very little about of all of them. But first, we're gonna talk a little bit of a current event. And since everything, since there is no news, Dylan checked, but just before we went on, there's no news to report on. Zero.
Nothing going on in the world. Nothing.
Nope, just this. I will talk about how I might have my flock might have bird flu. So just last night, I'm putting the chickens to bed because of predators. Like I honestly, my going to bed routine, I trained them kind of like Jack trains his ducks. I clap him like, go to bed, go to bed, go to bed. And
I was just doing that like 5 minutes ago.
It works.
Yeah.
So and I don't do it every night. I do it probably 50% of the time. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my should be 17, and I counted. I got 16. I counted again. I got 16. I'm like, what the heck? So I go looking for the other one, and we have like another smaller chicken coop that I used to raise my broilers in last year. That it doesn't get used, but it's open. They can just come in and out as they please. Mm-hmm. And so I checked in there, and there was a dead one in there, and I'm like, what the heck? And so I pick it up, and it's obviously cold, but it wasn't totally stiff yet. Mm-hmm. I could still move its leg kind of, and move its wing kind of. So it couldn't have been dead for more than, 12 hours, let's say. So it didn't happen overnight. And that bird is only 2 years old. And I think it's a black Australorp, and its life expectancy is anywhere from 5 to 10 years. And so for it to just die is weird. Symptoms, I looked up symptoms, is discoloration of the feet and comb. Well, discoloration of the feet, discoloration of the comb, lower appetite, and lower egg production are things to look out for. And so I did notice that they weren't eating as much, as a whole. I don't know who eats how much, right? That'd be impossible. Mm-hmm. No. And we had a drop in egg production. So I didn't notice any discoloration of the comb in the other ones or feet, but this one kind of seemed like its comb was off, but it was also dead. So hard to say post-mortem. Right. So I had an interview last week from a lady. Her name is Sophia Neild I'm going to give her credit. Sophia Neild of Honey Grove Homestead. And what she does is she has a chicken pharmacy. That's what she calls it. Farm with an F. And she gives her chickens herbs all the time because she she's down in Georgia fighting this and that and the other thing, trying to keep them alive. And this is whatever she's been giving them has been working. And so I messaged her this morning and I said, in your research, have you found preventative maintenance herbs for chickens to fight bird flu? We lost one just yesterday. Not sure how. She said, if you free range, but can bring them into a designated area that wild birds have no access to, that would help. Using oregano and parsley can help boost their immune system, as well as Nutri-Drench, which is additive to their water. It's got vitamins and minerals in it. Kind of something similar you would give to baby chicks when they get home from the male, I guess. Right. The best preventative is biosecurity, removing sick chickens from the rest of the flock, having designated clothes and shoes or shoe covers for the coop and yard or wearing. So just a little tip there for anyone that wants to give their chickens a little immunity boost would be oregano and parsley. She wrote parley, but I'm guessing she meant to write parsley. I don't know what parley is. Or parlay.
that makes sense. Unless her chickens are using parlor.
Wouldn't that be something? But I mean, bird flu could wipe out your flock in a matter of hours. So the fact that none of my other chickens seem to be affected yet is a good sign, I guess. But I'm still gonna give them oregano and parsley. And
yeah, that makes sense.
Get some.
I've heard
get some drench.
oregano's antiviral.
Yeah, I think she's got video on like on her Instagram and maybe on her YouTube of the herbs that she gives her chickens. So I can link to that in the show notes or chat or something. I don't know how to do that right now. But anyways, that's an update from my place.
Yeah, as you were talking about clapping for your chickens, it was your chickens, right?
Yeah.
Okay. My ducks got out. I had already put them away, and it's really windy here in Wisconsin right now. And the door blew over, even though I had a skid, in front of the door. Mm-hmm. So the way that I clap to get them into bed, and I don't know if any of the listeners out there recognize the reference, but when we would watch Justin Rhodes' American Farm Tour,
mm-hmm.
there's a guy in Florida, I think Stoll's Foods. I'm probably pronouncing. I'm sorry.
Stoltz?
No, it's like Stoll Foods. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but he's Full Circle Farms in Florida. And to get his cows from one pasture to the other, he'd say, "Come on, cows. Come on now. Come on, cows."
That's it?
Yeah, it's really funny. So I use that for the ducks.
Nice.
And the kids get a kick out of it.
Come on, ducks. Come on.
Come on now. Yeah.
Just that's it? That's all. Okay.
That's it.
Well, if it works, it works, right?
Excuse me.
Jeez, what's your problem?
I don't know. I was just outside. Yeah, just outside. Ran in to start up the computer. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you need some oregano or parsley?
I might have some oregano tea later.
Just eat pasta.
Yeah,
just
there we go.
Overload on the oregano. Well, let's get into the main topic then. So branding. Let's start with branding. I'm going to pick on you for a little bit.
Yep.
Just for a second. It's something super minor, but anytime I want to tag you in something, you have a different handle on every single social media you have.
Yeah, I do.
Homestead Dad. One is like Steady Presence _DYL. Another is like I don't remember what the other one is, but depending on where you're at, it's different on every single one, and that drives me crazy.
It is.
How am I supposed to remember which one? Like, is it Dylan? Is it Homestead Dad? Is it Steady? Like, what the heck is it? How do I tag this guy? Forget it. He'll find me. He'll tag himself.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, I should just because I can't do Steady Presence on Instagram because that's my wife's.
That makes sense.
So I should do that on Float as well. The Homestead Dad thing isn't getting me anywhere on Float. So I think I can change that now that they're on their version 1, because it seems like everyone's changing their names. You get notifications on Float saying this person changed their name or changed the profile picture. And my lovely assistant just brought me some water.
Thanks, Ashley. It was getting annoying.
Thanks, Ashley. It was getting annoying.
Yeah, right.
You will hold it for the next 51 minutes.
From a brewery.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So okay, so brand. Uh, you like I listen to a fair amount, not like a ton of oh, what the heck the guy's name now? Gary Vaynerchuk.
Okay.
Like about like you are your brand, and you know, you can love him or hate him, but he's got a lot of crazy things to say. And so he tells the story. Well, he's got a couple books first, and I listened to the audio version of his older book, 12 steps, 12 something. I don't know, not 12 steps. That doesn't make any sense. I don't remember what the book is called. I
Sure,
just
sure.
listened to it. But basically, you know, reply like things like when you post something online, reply to every comment.
Yep.
And I have a video on like I barely post to TikTok. It's kind of like 2-3 times a week kind of thing. And he's like 3 times a day, 4 times a day, put out content. Like you should be like pushing hard to uh publish to TikTok every day. And I'm just
Right.
like, what do I post? Like I don't not like I'm not doing anything right now.
Yeah.
And so or it's like, nope, changing another diaper. Oh, going to work. Oh, coming home from work.
Yep.
Drinking coffee. Like what? Like this isn't Instagram where you just like post like mundane crap all the time, right?
Right. Right.
I want something of value. But here's something that I did record and that I was replying to all the comments was I had to do something stupid. I don't even want to get into the story of what it was because it's so not important. But I had to get something that was super heavy in the back of my truck. I had to build a ramp to pull the thing onto the ramp. Whoops, pull the thing onto the ramp, and then back my truck up to the ramp to somehow get the heavy thing into it. And so Katie was driving the truck, and there's a little hump in the dirt. And so she has it in reverse and she's just kind of trying to like bring it smoothly, but because of that hump in the dirt, she gives it a little gas. And because because my truck is like it's not like souped up, that's not right. It's a twin turbo half ton. So
Yep.
it it hauls ass. It the tailgate was down and smashes right into the ramp that I built, and like a little piece of plastic like broke on it. It was like no big deal, and so like I like wasn't even mad. I'm just like, whatever. I'm like I was so drained trying to get this heavy piece of crap in the back of the truck. I had no energy to care, and
Yeah. Yeah.
so half the people were like, "Wow, you know, way to have patience. Like I would have freaked out." And then, I'm replying like, why? Like are you scared to get your grocery getter a little broken or like a little scuffed or dinged up? Like, do you just, park it in the lawn and never do anything with it? Or is it meant for work? And then the other
Yeah.
half were like, oh, typical woman driver. And like, I, I was like being super snarky to those people, which was a negative because then comments that weren't like, you know, weren't intended to be negative, I took them as negative,
Right.
right? Your perception changes. So like honestly, anytime that there was like, typical female driving, like blah blah blah, I just ended up blocking those people. And most of the time they either have zero videos or like super crappy videos. And so like they're not worth engaging in conversation anyways. Like that's a like so I joke, you want to know where all the crappy YouTube comments went? They went to TikTok. That's where they live now.
Oh, that's funny.
And so I've just been, I've been replying to all the comments mostly on that video because that's up to like 200 some thousand views now. And
Oh, wow.
I know over something so simple. Like, and I honestly forgot that I had posted it. 4 days later, I'm like, oh yeah, let's check that. And then it was just like exploded. I'm like, what happened? What? But it was a lot of work going through those comments. And long story, long because I definitely didn't shorten it whatsoever. I think replying to those comments helps the algorithm stay relevant and showing up in people's feeds.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I think that's what's going on there because it's active. It's like an active thing. So people are still watching, people are still commenting, and if I'm replying and help feeding that conversation, it's still getting views is what
Yeah, kind of keeping that volleyball in the air.
basically, yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
exactly. So yeah, you
Yeah,
got it.
we posted a reel. We made an Instagram reel for the first time in last fall, and
Yeah,
it was popular. It was surprisingly popular. Like all these people that we've never heard of liking the reel. So
right.
we got to make more of those.
That's a good way. It's been reels on Instagram are basically TikToks. Like you
Right,
could
right,
basically like copy and paste and do it that way. It would be allowed.
right,
So
right.
um
Yeah, kind of shifting. Talking more on branding.
yes.
A lot of what I think of today, the name of your business is also part of your brand.
Yes.
It's the first thing that people see on either your business sign or that they come across on social media. So when you see Farm Hop Life, it kind of tells you what you're about.
Yep.
And that's why we picked the name Study Presence, is that it gives you that warm cozy feeling that someone's going to be there for you, that that we're that we're not here to give you everything, but like we're like the name says, we're steady. We're here for you when you need us
Right.
in the world of birth work and nutrition. But I also see that as a pattern in other health related fields. So some of the businesses in our area, they they tell you what they're about. So like in our area, we have like Shifting Tides Chiropractic. That tells you what they're trying to do. They're trying to shift the tides of health.
Mm-hmm.
Or Sprout Family Chiropractic. That is about kids. You can tell just by
Sure.
the name, and so others, but it's that first thing that you see. And if let's say both of those chiropractic offices, if it was just Smith Chiropractic, it doesn't set you apart. That rebranding
Mm-hmm.
in the case of Shifting Tides, they're a multi-generational chiropractic family. She
Yeah.
broke away and rebranded, and I think it paid off
Mm, sure.
because it tells you what they're about, not just somebody's last name.
Right. Which is who I go to actually. It's just Matt's Family Chiropractic. Just
Right, right.
it's just ironic that it's MATZ. And but yeah, that's I mean, they do well. They're busy all the time, but yeah, it doesn't state like kind of like their mission or any personality, honestly.
Exactly.
So
And for me, I'd probably lean more towards a business that you kind of see the mission within the name of the business, because we're in this society that we won't even copy a URL into a search bar anymore if it's not a QR code or a
mhm,
clickable link. We're moving on, and so you need that in your business name.
right.
If they have to dig to see what you're about, it's too late. You're done.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried Googling myself recently, like Farm Hop Life. Like if it's all one word, you get everything we've done. And if it's all spaced out, I think we still show up a little bit. There's like just like a few things. Actually, I should start putting tags in all like my podcast feeds and all my videos, just Farm Hop Life, like all spaced out. So it still
Oh
shows
yeah,
up. I should go back and do all that so we catch catch all of it, but
yeah, that'd be clever.
I just had that thought. I got a couple of little snippets of someone like from a couple articles defining brand, if we want to go
Yes.
over that really quick.
Do it.
I don't remember which article this is from. First, you have to know who you are, who you help, and why they should care. Brand.
Yeah.
So you should be able to, like, a good brand would, kind of like what you were saying, they should know most of the story already by knowing your name. Now, things that, you know, if you think about other companies like Google, Nike, like you like, just from the name alone, you don't know what they do.
Right.
But that's probably where the second part comes in, would be marketing. But we can get to that. We can get to that next.
Yeah, I mean, those brands have legacy associated with them. So before social media, before people could lose interest in copying a URL, people were out on basketball courts and they knew that Nike meant shoes because it was on every shoe that people saw.
Right.
Or Google, I think I'm old enough to remember that Google used to have ads. Didn't they have like TV ads?
Oh, that's what you mean. I was like, I'm pretty sure they still have ads, but I
Oh
would
yeah,
know
they
because
have
I use
ads.
ad blockers.
Yeah. But like the Google, the company itself, and then they were able to, I don't know if they coined it or just the phrase "go Google it." That's the brand. It tells you,
Right.
go search it, go Google it.
Yeah, now it's a verb
It's
or
yeah,
whatever. It's a lot of
yeah.
things. Yep.
But if you're starting a company or a business off the ground in today's market, like you said, people should know what you're about in the business name.
Exactly. The other little snippet I stole from some article is, branding, for instance, is a process of shaping the image of a company in the minds of customers. So kind of like what we already have mentioned here.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I can scroll down to my shirt here, but so this is our logo, and a friend of ours had suggested to use our family as the face of our business because we're a family
Right.
business.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you can see here, so if we hand out our business card, you would see all of the services that we offer.
Yes.
So you get steady presence, you see who is providing the service, and that looks like a family that you would want to do business with for the
Yeah.
services that we offer.
Yeah. Agreed.
So it's all there.
Let's move on to marketing. I know sales was second, but I think it goes branding, like, in order.
Right.
Your brand, marketing, and sales, because usually you can't sell anything unless you market it.
That's right.
So I know Jack always says, telling your story so well that others tell it for you.
Yep.
So in how I came up with, like, first, FarmHopLife, like, okay, it tells you all you need to know right in the name. And it's easier to remember than Matt, who knows? And then they give up, like, they can't think about it. If you took like 2 or 3 simple words, then, like, should be easy to remember, right?
Yeah.
Easier to remember than Matt Derosier. So, and then the second thing would be like your tagline. It should be easy to tell your story. And so I'm like, how can I, in the fewest amount of words, how can I describe what we do? a traveling homestead family. Done. Like, so I
Yes.
put it everywhere. I put it as a tagline for all of our, like, on all of our social medias, because it's so easy to remember. I actually had someone reach out to me on Twitter just randomly, like, traveling homestead family. What does that mean? And I was like, uh, so she was curious. I'm like, next year we're gonna be in an RV and going from homestead to homestead, farm to farm, whatever, and helping people out. And she's like, oh, I see. I thought you were like, you figured out how to homestead on the road. And I was like, I mean, you could put a green roof on your RV, I guess. And
Yeah.
she is asking because she's trying to do that. She's trying to have a homestead while in her RV. And
Yeah.
she says, the green, I thought about the green roof too, but it would just be too heavy. I'm like, oh yeah, good point.
Right. Have some goats up there.
Some goats, and just like have like 2,000 pounds of wet sod. And well, I guess it wouldn't be a lawn. It would be, I don't know,
Prairie or something.
cover crops, like
Yeah.
corn. Maybe some clover for some bees. Oh, that would be cool. Have a beehive up on the top of your, as long as they're like domestic bees and not like aggressive or anything like that. But yeah, that's telling your story so well that others tell it for you. It's pretty simple. I've actually had people tag me on Twitter like, hey, we should do a community, like basically like a community barn, like an old school barn raising, people needing help with this project and that project. And someone just straight up just tagged me, didn't even say anything, just like, this guy. And I was like,
Yes.
hey, cool, people know what I'm about.
Yeah, we need a handle. So as you know, when it comes to pitching ourselves at the end of an episode, it's different every time. My wife will point out.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we have it on the back of our shirts. So it's two parts. We build community, and then the second part is about farm events. But I need to work on that. A catchphrase, or what did you say? A slogan,
A tagline.
a tagline. Yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
need a tagline. But people coming out to our farm events, meeting us. In the future, we'll have mom support groups out at the farm.
Right.
And so people just bring their babies out and all the moms hang out. So locally, people can say, talk to one another and say, hey, we gained a lot by going to these moms' nights. It gave me a lot of community after we had our baby, and
Right.
I was around a lot of people of like mind, and so you should come out. You should come out. In fact, when we had our kids, we attended kind of a family night at our lactation consultant's office. So, and it was called Weight Check Wednesday. So every Wednesday, you could bring your baby in. You get a free weight check just to see, are they on track? And then moms would be in community with each other. And then if you had any questions about nursing, the lactation consultant was right there, and it was great. And it was so great that I recommended any new parents to go to that meetup.
Mm-hmm.
It benefits the parents. It benefits the lactation consultant that could get business out of it. But more importantly, I was telling her story because
Right.
our experience was so powerful. And that's exactly what Jack alludes to.
So one thing that helped me a lot is doing like a word map to create your tagline.
Mm.
Take So what did you say? Building community and barn events?
Yeah.
What if you just smash it together? Building community, barn events.
Oh yeah, something like yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what you could do is, you know, building community would be on your word map. Barn events would be on your word map, and then looked like on the bottom of your sweatshirt you had a bunch of other stuff.
Yep.
Um, so
Pregnancy
like,
dietitian, doula. Yep.
so like,
Homeschooling support.
so like a few of like your, like a little bit of your mission statement, like write like a mission statement and kind of explode it, like tear it apart. And you can also like use like the thesaurus to, kind of use different words. Like, okay, like I don't really like the way the word, like, barn event. Like, could there be something like different other than barn event? Like, let's call it something else. Or just kind of play with words really
Right.
to figure out what sounds good. So it's like a simple tagline. Is what helped me a lot. So
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll have to do that. I'll report back next week.
figure out that'll be our news. They made it on Fox News. Dylan's steady presence. The blah blah blah. Blah.
That'll be
Fox
on
News
the
app
last page.
homepage. We'll Photoshop it or something.
There we go.
So another snippet about marketing from an article I won't cite because I don't know where it came from. You need to figure out an awesome and interesting way to get people in front of your message and interested in what you are doing. So, like, how do you get people interested in what you're doing? Well, for you specifically, people are always having babies. People always want to eat healthier food.
Yep.
People struggle with both of those things.
Yeah, we do get the crossover. People trying to get pregnant and have had issues in the past, and them realizing that a portion of it could be due to nutrition. So they come to
Dude
us.
needs to eat more oysters.
Yeah, and beef liver.
Oysters and beef liver.
Yeah.
Put it in a pill.
Yeah, definitely. And so they come for that first nutrition consult, get in touch with Ash, find out the services we're providing are awesome, and then they're sticking around for doula support when they do get pregnant. And then after they have the baby, they come out to some mom support groups and see that we're raising food here on the farm, and they want to help out, do some barter for work. We give them some food, but it's all integrated. So at my work, we have this concept of the full liner approach, and I work for a paper machine supply company, and so our strategy is to offer all the solutions needed for a new paper mill, so that they only have one source to go to if they have a question. And I kind of take that same approach with new families. We have all these things that we offer, and they all integrate together. So you can come into our business through the nutrition, the doula, or the farm events and growing food. If you have questions about growing food, they all go together. And that's exciting. That interests people.
Right. If so, you kind of have like your niche or your vertical kind of carved out. So it's all about kind of like this one thing. So kind of like Farm Hop Life, I'm about growing food and and typically the things that surround growing food, a lot of people in this space also homeschool. So we talk about homeschooling and
Are you just talking about like topics to talk about on the podcast?
Kind of a little
Okay.
bit. Yep. And things that people want to talk about. And so because
Right.
we're also talking about growing food, there's things like how do you grow more food? And so that comes into like being able to talk about permaculture or just whatever.
Yeah, well, I find it interesting the audience that you get from, let's say, talking about homeschooling. Well, if the people that are homeschooling questioned the status quo on education, what
Yeah.
else are they challenging the status quo on? And you'll find that a lot of homeschooling families are also about organic food, Bitcoin,
Right.
owning guns, etc. It's interesting. You can
Yeah,
cover
that's the
top.
idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that people, all these things like, hey, what do you don't like holding money, right? Like, nope, I like two people that I know of that I've talked to, just the ones that I've interviewed out of, let's say, 12, 15 or so, have bought a lumber mill recently. So
Interesting.
we talk about that a little bit, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, surprisingly, not really, prep. A lot of them prep a lot. Like I talked to an Australian lady on Saturday night, and I'm going to release the interview a little bit later. But she's like, I'm prepped for a year. I was already a prepper, but the one thing that really did it for me was that we had horrible floods, and I was stuck in my house with no power and no way to use the toilet or running water for 4 days.
Ooh,
Yeah, I know. And it
yeah.
was just her. Her husband was away for work, and so she had to figure it out.
Yeah.
But
So, I mean, we're on the topic of, piquing people's interest along the lines of marketing. So, when you do the shorts for your interviews,
mhm.
that is very good marketing because it conveys part of the full broadcast, but it's something that someone else can say, "Hey, did you look at this? Look at what Ashley Schnese said about giving birth."
Right. She's crazy.
Yeah, uh, I found it funny that all the clips that you made from our interview, they were all things that Ash said.
I don't know. You were pretty quiet after the interview. You didn't say a whole lot. There was
I
nothing.
know,
There wasn't
but
much to add.
no, it's just interesting that all of the clips that you made, they were taglines that she said in the interview, and they
Oh,
were
I see.
very
The titles were. I
the
see.
titles. Yep,
I don't know
like
why I stopped doing that. I
they're
should go
they're
back
very good.
to quotes like this
Hmm.
thing was said at the yeah. I should go back to
Yeah,
doing that instead of just like uh Marines movies. Like I think the one of my latest ones is like what's a Marines like favorite movie, and spoiler alert, it's Iwo Jima or something.
right, right. No, but those shorts were excellent, and I shared
Thanks.
those on social media, and I think I just thought of something while talking about that. So if someone shares a clip that you made, that's that person sharing your story. Even if
Exactly,
they
yeah.
even if they didn't verbally do it, the act of them sharing it is telling the other person's story,
Right.
telling Farm Hop Life story.
Right.
They Farm Hop Life can get these people to say these things about a topic, and it's interesting.
Right. Is there
So,
a way I'm not like I'm not very well versed on Instagram. Is there a way to basically share someone's post on Instagram, or is it basically like you need to steal their image and then give them credit in the comments?
um, the way that I handle that is I just share it in my story. Like there's
Oh,
the
I see. So it
like
only lasts
send.
24 hours. Okay.
That's right. So
Okay.
like I just send it to my story, and um, that's the creative way that I get my family to learn about permaculture is I put it in my story because they're expecting like pictures of my kids or videos of the kids
Sure.
doing chores or whatever, and then they see bam a statement by Jeff Lawton. I didn't come for this, but I guess I saw it and I can't forget it now.
Tap, 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 tap. What TikTok does is if your video is short enough, you can stitch it, or I guess someone can download it and then cut it and then stitch it, which means like we can either do side by side like we're doing now. Well, that's a duet, I guess. So like you
Mhm.
play along or sing a song or whatever together, do a dance together. But if you stitch it, it'd be like I said something. It's like I um I back up into that or Katie backs up into that ramp, and then someone was like, their reaction's like, "Oh my gosh!" Just like wrecked or ruined or something. I don't remember. So like, if someone wanted to like basically edit the video, they could. So
Oh,
it could
yeah.
further your marketing because down in like at the bottom of the screen, it'll say like, from Farm Hop Life or something like that.
Yeah.
So they give you credit in the video if it's all done within the app.
Yeah. So it's kind of like people using classic rock music and rap songs
Kind of,
where they
yes.
kind of like get credit for like, oh, Crazy Train is relevant now because some guy used it in a rap song.
Sure. So like there's I'll give you an example is that um someone there was I've had this song stuck in my head for like 2 weeks now. There's a BBC guy, like an old interviewer or journalist that worked for the BBC that was being interviewed himself by someone else. And she's like, "Do you know do you rap?" And I don't know. He's like, "I did a weird whatever special on rap." And she's like, "Do you remember any of the rap?" And he goes, "My money don't jiggle jiggle. It folds. I'd like to see you wiggle wiggle, blah 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 blah." And it's like he goes off for like a minute, and people did dances to it. People did like little lip syncs to it. And one of my favorites was someone was like holding their ferret and making a dance.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. It's just I mean, if you can do something on TikTok that people will respond in that way, that's huge for your marketing. And hopefully
Right.
that leads into sales.
Yeah.
So let's talk about sales. So going back to Jack Spirko, he always says sales is a transfer of belief. Like, I need this product or service. So like
That's right.
marketing was the telling of the story. Sales, transfer of belief. I need this product or service. So how do you guys get that transfer of belief that I need this product or service, whether it be dietitian or doula or lactation consulting or any of those things?
Yeah. So I think right now where we're at, we're kind of growing by word of mouth. And so yeah, like let me keep you go first. Let me keep thinking about that.
I haven't sold anything, so
I
this is
know,
easy
right?
for me. So I don't have that transfer of belief. So what I guess what's interesting, and I'm going to give away my secret, which is totally fine. I was always going to be transparent, regardless. Was that I could, if someone that I've either been to their farm or interviewed them or something, like I've vetted them in some way that they make like they're hustling, they're willing to do the work, they have a good product, that I will boost their stuff.
Mhm.
Like I'll plug it, and if it's of value to them, give me something. Let's barter, whatever. Let's figure it out. But if it's If I'm doing this and it's not of value to you, then I'm going to stop doing it.
Right.
But if it is of value, I should get something for that. Let's talk about it. But I'm going to do it anyways. And if it goes somewhere, let's talk about it. But either way, like I keep saying I'm going to do it, but I just like the time to do it. We bought this goat milk lotion from one of the people that I interviewed, Kaylee Hart out of New York. It's really awesome stuff. I've never made like a promo video before. And so I'm like, I keep going over in my head, like how am I going to do this? How am I going to frame it? What do I want it to look like when it's done? And so I was going to once I do it and like it's polished the way I want it, so it looks good, I was going to track like the analytics as well and see, okay, I've had this many click throughs. So people click on this link to send her to the thing. So I know how much traffic I'm sending her way. And after that, I don't know because I'm not part of her, website sales, right? I'm just sending traffic that direction. So I'd be curious to see on her end, does that translate to sales? All these clicks, does that translate to sales kind of thing? And so if it does, maybe, I get some free lotion or soaps or whatever it is that she's got.
Right. You have a skill of producing audio visual content, and she doesn't.
Basically, yeah.
Right.
It's different. I mean, she's on Instagram and stuff, but like it's different.
It is. So yeah, by providing that service, you could do it for that first product, and then if it generates sales on her end, but then she doesn't hold up her end of value for value, well then it's pretty apparent that you wouldn't then continue to do that in the future for another product.
Of hers, probably not. Like, oh, like I wanna support you, so I'm gonna do this regardless, right? I'm gonna do this because I want to do it. I want to help support you.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was of value, like we keep talking about, I should get some value back, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it was kind of like how I pitched you about the ramp salt. Like, if you make awesome ramp salt, I want to push your ramp salt.
Right.
And if it amounts to nothing, I'm not going to get anything back.
True. Yeah.
But it was fun plugging your ramp salt. So
yeah, definitely.
That's as far as that went.
Yeah. So. I might have to think about that more because I think we have quite a bit of ramp salt that we can, package up and it's shelf stable. So
sure,
we'll just have it laying around. So yeah, I might have to take you up on that.
It'd be like I'll steal that Frank's Red Hot, like the Steady Presence ramp salt. I put this shit on everything. Just blatant ripoff.
You not do it because that blatant ripoff is the what we were just talking about previously about using other people's content going forward.
Or instead of shit, say salt. I put that salt on everything.
Yeah. And people will get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for us, the transfer of belief. So the few doula clients that we've gotten recently have been through other people, sharing our story. So I guess they were marketed. They were marketed to, by sharing our story. But what made them click? What made them, buy the service? They had to have that transfer of belief. And so for us, it's that transfer of belief probably occurs during an initial consult. So Ash does a 30-minute free consult to see if this service is right for you. And in that 30 minutes, that's her time to shine and complete that transfer of belief. And boy, do we have evidence of why you need a doula. We
Sure.
have data, scientific data that shows poor poorer outcomes in hospital settings, and emotional testimonials of people either using the hospital with a doula or a home birth, and we have that on our side. So with all of that, to have that transfer of belief is we can do it in that 30-minute consult, that first
I
consult.
I don't doubt that because I could have used Ashley today. Katie had a bad doctor's visit today. And so like, well, I don't think it was just stressful for it. It wasn't like bad news. It was just like, wow, now I have more stress because her doctor's like the one who was supposed to be doing the surgery because scheduled C-section is going to be out of town, and so now the new doctor, like, she doesn't like him, that kind of thing.
Right.
So, but I don't think Ashley would be in the room with Katie at this appointment. 10-minute, what was supposed to be a 10-minute appointment, but Ashley could be that level of support, like, you know, before the surgery, and be like, this is what happened, blah, 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 and just like Ashley could be there for her. Like, I'm like, yes, I'm her husband, and I'm listening, I'm caring, I'm understanding, being empathetic, all these things, but like,
There's a certain level of support that you get from talking with other women,
yes,
and specifically women that are well versed in what you're talking about.
yeah, I think
So,
it's an easy sale, honestly, because emotions are high, hormones are high,
yeah,
stress is high, all these things. So it's like, will you just help me? Kind of like, it just occurred to me, Ashley is like the farm hop life for pregnant ladies.
yeah. Uh, well, based on what you just said there, it's almost like we need a service, kind of like phone a friend, like
Sure.
just like uh 50 bucks or $100 um after let's you get like 5 phone calls or whatever after a doctor's appointment. You call me up and you vent to me. What did that doctor say to you that pissed you off? Just get it all out there, because what you said was right. The appointment may not be an appointment where the doctor delivers bad news, but they could say something in the wrong way that causes stress, but the doctor didn't know it. He's just providing medical jargon,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean that. Rather, you need someone to validate that the appointment did not go well. Your feelings are still valid
Right.
even if there was no actual bad outcome, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
I forgot what I was going to say. I don't remember.
But something like that, that would the and then if okay, so let's say your wife used a service like that, and then you market it, you shared the story of how that helped your wife.
Yeah.
Well, then let's say that kind of service is something that could happen nationwide.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nationwide service, because we're only a phone call away. And let's say you tell the story of how Ash helped your wife during a phone call. And that when we make a sale on the phone a friend service,
Mm-hmm.
every sale we transferred belief into you that
Right.
we can help. So it's in that scenario, it's almost like marketing and sales go hand in hand. They're very
Yeah.
closely related.
Yeah, that's why they always get lumped together, like
Yeah.
in like, oh yeah, sales and marketing department. But no, it's two different things. It's vastly different things. Like a lot of people market on TikTok. Like they do giveaways like $5,000, whoever gets the most views like on TikTok for promoting this thing or whatever. And so like hundreds of people will jump in on this, like $5,000, holy smokes. And so, but like, so they get hundreds of people creating hundreds of videos, not each,
Mhm.
just total, right? So you get 100 videos trying to promote your product for $5,000. That's super cheap. Like that is cheap. Marketing, like a marketing budget, but for
Mhm.
maximum effort, right? Like
Yep.
I guess maximum outcome. And a
Right.
lot of people like actually like, and I agreed, it's kind of a dirty way to do your marketing, but it works, I guess. I
Right.
mean, constantly getting like every fifth TikTok's like an ad for some stupid game or whatever, some stupid shower head. but
Yeah. Yeah.
um but anyways, there was something else I wanted to wrap up on, and I don't remember what
Well,
it
to
was.
kind of.
Oh, I remember. Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you guys start a hotline, you're going to need a call center, but that's expensive.
I
What you
know.
should do is because obviously Ashley can't take calls all hours of the night. She'd never get any sleep, and she'd be the one that needs phone a friend.
Right.
Um, you should learn how to program like a artificial intelligence, just like Ashley bot or something like that. And
Yeah.
so like they call whatever, and it's hooked up to like a number, and so it answers as Ashley and has all the responses as Ashley, but just like keep training it, like give it training data. And so it's kind of like those, like the thing where like you build it once and you keep like profiting from it after only having like build it once. I forget
Right.
what
Right.
it's there's a term for that. It's like let's say like you build a table, it's a build it once, sell it once.
Yep.
You can't repeat it. But like if
Yep.
you have like a membership or whatever, you build it once and it just infinite sales, right?
Yeah.
So
It's not cash cow. Is that what you're thinking of?
no, there's an actual term for it. I just don't
Okay.
remember what it is.
Right.
But we're do you remember what you wanted to wrap up on?
Yeah. I was just gonna say, kind of to summarize, if you market your business well, the selling part of it should be easier.
Right.
So I'm gonna be going on a business trip in a couple weeks, and the better I can do at, let's say, collecting data, understanding the customer's priorities, their objectives, what a successful result looks like, and I'm going to give a presentation on tackling each of those points and saying not how our product can solve them, but this is what you're looking for to solve your problems. And it leads them, like it's almost like inevitable that they have to buy your product because you've basically laid everything up for them to take the layup in basketball.
Yeah.
But uh the marketing should be so well done that the selling part is like the 1% after the 99% of the work that you've done.
Agreed.
The transfer of belief doesn't take that long if the marketing, the sharing of the story was very effective.
Yes. Sorry, I'm dang it, this ticker is not working. I keep trying to edit it. I was trying to plug our stuff, but it's
Oh,
not
sure,
working.
sure.
So tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, so my name's Dylan Schnese at Steady Presence. We build communities up through new family support, and I have to keep working on it. But after this, I'm going to change all of my socials so that they match up. But you can find me on Instagram, Float, and Facebook.
Does that mean you're gonna have to start over?
No, I can just change the name. I don't think you have to start over.
All right.
No,
Well, good luck with that. That sounds like a lot of work. And I am Matt Derosier of FarmHop Life, farmhoplife.com. Check us out. There's an About Us page. You can read all about us. Traveling Homestead Family. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We appreciate your time. And we'll see you next week with a different topic.